Hello, anybody. I am Alpacapatrol, and this is Binding of Isaac, Wrath of the Lamb. That's right, I'm back with some more Binding of Isaac, Wrath of the Lamb. My voice got all jazzy there for a moment. All right, let's jump in here. Now, one of the main requests that I've been getting is Kane, and you know what? I'm cool with that because I like Kane. I like Kane. I have fun with Kane, so I'm gonna jump in with Kane. I also get Maggie sometimes a lot, so I'll probably play Maggie next. I don't know. But before we continue here, I want to say a few. All right, that works. Rosary gives us 3 blue hearts, I guess. Yeah, it's okay. Yeah, I want to say some things about the channel. I am hopefully going to start getting more or doing more with review copy type stuff, so expect that in the near future. There should be more variety on the channel. I've been like kind of in like limbo with like administrative stuff with the channel for a little while, and you know, none of it kind of really panned out. So hopefully there should be more variety on the channel soon. There should be more than just Isaac, more and FTL. Not that a lot of you guys are complaining about that. In fact, no one is, but. But I need to keep myself sane by doing more than just Isaac and FTL. I don't want this channel to be just a Let's Play channel, honestly. I want it to be more of a variety channel where I look at more things. And, you know, potentially bringing back more series like Flash Game Fridays. I know I've been slacking off on the Indie Spotlights. I don't know if any of you guys even remember those or like those. I know a lot of you guys didn't watch those when those were up. Oh, we got Fire and Malaser. Alright, that's fine. We need a spacebar item. So yeah, that should be back. I just got, you know, I got completely turned off by the fact that 2 of my Indie Spotlights were completely corrupted by Camtasia. But, you know, those should come back eventually. I mean, I still have the audio file for the Under the Ocean one. Whoops, I gave it away. Well, whatever. But yeah, I still have the audio file for that one. And, other things. Oh! Yeah, I wanted to mention, because I always forget to do this now, because you guys send me so much stuff, and it's great, and it just makes me feel so good. But I got a bunch of free games. Like I've recently got. Well, let's use this. All right. I got Cthulhu Saves the World. I got the Natural Selection 2 pre-order. And I got just like a bunch of other things. So anybody who sent me a gift on Steam, I seriously love you, and I don't deserve it. I didn't have enough bombs to go look for the secret room. It could be in a lot of places. Yeah, I just want to say, and again, like, you don't have to send me anything to get kind of like a shout out on here or anything. But you know, I just I don't deserve your love for what I do. But just know that it makes me feel really, really good and kind of validates me to know that you guys are really enjoying this stuff that much. So, yeah. So that, I wanted to say thanks, a quick thank you for a lot of things. I should send some kind of like thank you video kind of deal. But, yeah, I mean, yeah. Bunch of cool stuff, man. Bunch of cool stuff. So, you know, more things might be coming up on the channel. I hopefully I'm going to start getting, be more active with trying to look for review copies and stuff. Oh, damn it, I didn't mean to do that. My finger actually got stuck. Yeah, your finger got stuck, noob. Yeah, well, it did. I'm not a liar. I'm not a liar, okay? It's the truth. But yeah, oh, wow, that was terrible. So yeah, I mean, I should be more active with doing that kind of a thing in the near future. Have a little bit more variety. I guess potentially have like 3 videos up on here, you know, on off days. You know, not all the time, but like, because you guys cannot be without your Isaac and FTL, it seems. So I like, even if I release an Isaac video, I bet you on the FTL video right now, there's like, why you know Isaac? Oh damn it, that was really stupid. Because it can't even be a little bit late. So I'll make sure that at least I have FTL and Isaac up every day. But hopefully more first looks, more of that kind of stuff, first impressions on newer indie games. Of course, I have to get the review copies. But I did get for FTL and a couple other games, so you know, maybe I'm at the point where I can do that now, which would be fantastic. Let's look for the secret room. Could be here. That might be off center. Nope. Okay, good enough. Good enough. I'm cool with good enough. I have dealt with good enough my entire life. Boo hoo hoo, sad alpacapatrol. We got 9 cents, which is not valuable as far as... Alright, we didn't really do anything there. Oh, we killed one of them. That works. Yeah, we got 9 cents, so not enough to really go to the shop. I mean, it is kinda like you could potentially get a 7-cent item. However, not necessarily a big deal. Wow, 2 blue hearts out of that. And now we have enough money to go to the shop, so never mind. Whatever I just said. Okay, well. We could spend 1 heart to redo this floor, but I don't think that's worth it when we only have 3 hearts, so I'm not going to do it. I will just go to the shop. Because I don't want to miss out on 2 shops, you know? Like, well, miss out on 1 shop at least, if you know what I mean. If you get my ideas of what I say. Yeah. Compass is awesome. I will take the compass, and I will enjoy the compass thoroughly. From now on. From henceforth, the compass shall be enjoyed with all my heart and soul. And we shall move on here. We got the bean in the treasure room, by the way. So, you know, that's nothing particularly good. Let's jump right into our treasure room. Hey, Harlequin baby. We get that a lot. Get that a reasonable amount. Jump, 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 go. Alright, cool. We are good. And I think the shop is safe to go in. What did I back there for a second? What the hell was going on there? Yeah, by the way, never look up Harlequin baby on Google. I'm just letting you know right now. I'm trying to warn you. Never, ever do it. Don't look it up. I'm going to use a bomb here because why not? I'm pretty sure that greed is in the secret room. I suppose that could be the regular room. But either way, we know... Well, that was useless. Either way, we do know that that the shop is safe. So, I mean, not that it really matters because we don't have anything... We don't have any money anyway, but, you know... Good to know, at least, right? I think it's good to know. I think it's a good thing. I think it's a great thing. But anyway, we shall continue murdering. Murder Town, USA, population meme. I love that voice. I think that voice is fantastic. I don't know where that's from, really. I suppose, I don't like old school cartoons. You know what I miss? Is, and I know they like rebooted it, and it's like, I don't even know what the hell they're doing, man, but, if you guys never watched, oh, that was really stupid. If you guys never watched old Looney Tunes, you should seriously get on that shit, because old Looney Tunes is the best. I've had like this, like urge to watch old Looney Tunes for like a while now, and I just haven't done it. But old Looney Tunes are just amazing. They're just so good. They're so funny. Bugs Bunny is just the man. Honestly. And I think that guy's still alive, by the way. I think the guy who plays Bugs Bunny, I think he's still alive. In fact, he may voice Bugs Bunny in the reboot. Although I could be wrong. Yeah, they did like a reboot of it. It's on Comedy... Or, not Comedy Central. It's on, Cartoon Network. But see, the thing about Looney Tunes is, as a show, if it were made now, it should be on Comedy Central, not Cartoon Network. You know what I mean? Like Looney Tunes was never actually meant for kids. It was like a, you know, it was the kind of thing that was, it was played before films, as like a, you know, like kind of like how we have teaser trailers now. Instead of that, people were like, oh, I'm not gonna watch an advertisement for another movie. I'm gonna, oh, come on, Fly, really? People were like, I want to watch another story. So they would play that before movies. And also kind of to get people into the theaters. See, the thing is, with old school movies that people don't realize, oh damn it, is that, you know, movies are a lot like video games. And a lot of people didn't really care that much about film. Like, it's a big deal now, but, I mean, a lot of people did not care very much about film when film was first kind of starting. And so much so, in fact, that people would generally, like, not even consider a movie engagement necessary to show up on time. So what would happen was, people would just, you know, walk into the theater, like a half an hour or an hour or so into the movie and then start watching. So what Looney Tunes and those kind of serials that they played beforehand was kind of like a draw to get you into the theater before the movie started, to make you watch the whole film. And in fact, this was such an issue that what Alfred Hitchcock used to do is he would he would make sure that the theaters would lock their doors. So after the movie started, the doors were locked, and you couldn't get in and you couldn't get out. So that you would have to watch the film from beginning to end, because that's how a movie is supposed to be watched. And, you know, similarly, that's how a game is supposed to be viewed as well. But, you know, it's interesting looking at, like, the video games industry and looking at the film industry. I mean, of course, I've had a background in film history and whatnot, and, you know, because I went to film school and whatnot. And plus, I just love film. But, you know, it is interesting. Whoops, daisy, bad gas, okay. Let's see what this is. The Sun is a great card. Well, might as well use the Joker then. Nothing I want. So, peace, I guess. And we'll go pick up the Sun card on the way out. I wanted to explore anyway. Yeah. So it's actually very interesting how similar film and video game history are, because like, you even look at the indie game scene. I mean, it's starting in a lot of the same ways that that film did. Like, for instance, a lot of games that are like kind of considered indie now aren't necessarily indie. Like I actually explored this in my indie spotlight for. I might as well look for the secret room, right? Could be here. Yeah, the I kind of explored this in my Game of Dwarves indie spotlight. Now that game is published, right? So technically, by nature of the word independent. Excuse me. By nature of the word independent, it's not actually an indie game, because it's not independently developed. It's being published by a company. So I got a lot of heat for that, saying that, oh, it was indie enough for Indie Spotlight, right? And I got a lot of heat for that on the video and on Reddit. Oh, that is a butt fart. That is a fart made of butts. Oh, I'd love to pick that up. Damn it. I was really hoping for a 7-cent item. You know, anyway, so I got a lot of heat for that, for saying it's an indie game, but it was indie in form and feature, if you know what I mean, if that makes any sense. So, so while it wasn't technically an independently developed game, it did have that indie feel, and I think that distinction is becoming more and more important. And a good example of that, why that is, right, is like look at the indie film scene. So the indie film scene, of course, started with independently made films. You know, movies like Clerks, movies like the Mariachi Saga or whatever. You know, those are independently funded. But today, I mean, indie movies are not at all independently funded. I mean, they're completely funded by studios and stuff. They're just indie studios, right? Now, these, of course, are made up of guys who used to do indie film, but I mean, still, it's being funded by a studio. It's not any ways independent. It's only independent in theme. So, you know, you can see a film now today and still, you know, recognize that it's an indie film, while it doesn't have the main feature of independency, right? And I think that's the same idea for a lot of video games. And now you may think, okay, cool, I'm gonna pick up Curve Torn. Curve Torn was damage up, and it is fantastic. Now you may think, okay, well, yeah, sure, but there's no, and this is one of the arguments that I got on Reddit, was, okay, while the indie film scene is messed up that way, we shouldn't translate in that. Oh, come on, Troll Bomb! Oh, damn it. We shouldn't translate that into video games. But that's not necessarily the case. Like, for instance, look at Half-Life 2, right? Look at Half-Life 2. So, by technicality, that game is, and all the Half-Life games, Portal 2, Left 4 Dead, I guess not Left 4 Dead, but those games are technically independently developed. The same with Skyrim, because Bethesda publishes and develops Skyrim, and all the Elder Scrolls games. Fallout 3, Morrowind, all those big budget AAA releases. I think. No, I was going to say BioShock, but I think it's not necessarily independently developed. But anyway, you see my point, right? Like, that you wouldn't call those games indie games, right? And in fact, when I brought that up to the point, like no, of course not. You wouldn't call that an indie game. But then why not? Because if independent if independently developed is your only reasoning for calling a video game indie, then those games are indie. So all I'm saying is that I don't think that's the case. I don't think those games are indie games. I don't think Portal, I don't think Half-Life, I don't think those are indie games. I think those are AAA titles, and I think a matter of theme is an important distinction. Cool, we got the Parasite. A reasonably decent item, I suppose. Ah, fantastic. This is exactly what I was hoping for. Some free money, because now we can go to the shop, which probably has greed in it, actually. Because we have fought no mini-bosses, which is a shame. But whatever, it's fine. So yeah, I think theme is becoming more and more important. Now, the whole reason that I started talking about this was, again, I'm actually very sorry. I didn't realize that I've been talking for 10 minutes about this. This is probably dreadfully boring. But I want to make one more point. Pick up the ladder. I mean, not really. I don't want the ladder. I'll pick up the key and we'll get out of here. Yeah, so the distinction between indie and non-indie is really, I think, becoming more and more a matter of theme. Now, the reason that I started talking about this at all was because of film, because the film scene is very, very similar to the video game scene, and it's very interesting how similar it is, really. Like, for instance, how indie games started being developed. Now, why did indie games start being developed? Well, of course, you had indie developers, guys who wanted to have their message, their voice heard, but then, this is probably Krampus. Oh no. We could get scary for 2. You know what? Let's do it. We're going all in. Spirit of the Night. I actually thought that was scary. Which one is scary? I don't know. I guess that one. Maybe there is no scary. And in fact, we could. You know what we're gonna do? This requires some backtracking. So my apologies, but we're gonna go to that boss horde room. So. If you look at the indie film scene and you look at the indie movie scene, why did indie films start getting released? Well, you know, there were a bunch of people who wanted their voices heard, but, you know, they couldn't get their voices heard in the Hollywood studio system. And that's still the case. I mean, a lot of people can. And for that reason, you know, even in the indie film scene now, you can't get your voice heard either, because there are now indie film royalty where you can't get funded in indie films unless you're, you know, famous. But anyway, yeah, whatever, fine. Squeezies the tears up and blue hearts and whatever. So that's cool. Yeah. So that's the same for indie video games, right? Like people want to work in video games, but they also don't want to be the guy, the 30th coder on BioShock 7. You know what I mean? And it's unfair to poke fun at that game because BioShock has only had 2 games so far in it. But you get what I'm saying, right? Like people wanted their specific voices heard. They felt like the type of movies that are good are not being made. So, I mean, the type of games that are good are not being made. Same with indie film, and that's how it started. And it started in a lot of the same ways that the indie film scene did, because there's a studio system, and there's a studio system in video games too. And the studio system largely has eroded a bit in Hollywood, but you know, it's still a pretty important part of Hollywood. And it's pretty amazing. It's pretty interesting. I mean, especially if you look at just how things have evolved here, right? Like if you look at video games, right? In the say the 1980s, right, when they were first becoming mildly popular, it was mostly hobbyists, right? It was mostly guys who were just like, wow, this is really cool, and it was a small niche group. Well, that's the same for film. I mean, early days of film, it was for mostly mostly engineers, right? Because they liked working with cameras. Now, does that not sound very similar to some specific industry? Doesn't it sound a bit like video games, where the beginning, you don't have that many artists per se. Of course you have artists, because anybody who holds a camera or makes a piece of art is an artist. But I mean, you know, a lot of the guys who work in the games industry are engineers, right? Or they have been in the past, at least. They're coders, you know. They're guys who work with hardware. And that's the kind of thing that film started with as well. But now more and more you see more auteurs, as it's called in film. You see more artists, more guys who I just want to make a message. Like you look at like Dear Esther or something, right? Not necessarily to say that was a good game, but you know, I'm not really making a game anymore. I'm making an experience. That's not the kind of thing that Miyamoto would have said years ago, if you know what I mean. So, you know, it is pretty cool. It's pretty interesting if you read on film history, you read on all that stuff, how similar the scenes are. Of course, video games are moving a lot faster than film did. I mean, film took a long time, but of course, they didn't have that rapid expansion in hardware, you know, as video games. Like, video games have improved so greatly over such a short amount of time. Film did not have that luxury in the slightest. I mean, it took a really long time for any kind of advancement, innovation to really happen. So, you know. So, again, sorry. I hope that wasn't terribly boring. But that's how I am, I guess. It's a terribly boring individual. But anyway, yeah. It's cool stuff, man. It's cool stuff. I'm just really excited for video games. And inevitably, they will become mainstream, and not only will they become mainstream, they're already pretty much mainstream right now, but they will be accepted and looked upon as an art form, because, again, in the early days, film was the kind of thing that geeks did. I'm not even kidding. Like, in the early days, film was for film nerds. Right? Like, that's where you hear the term film geek comes from. It's from those old stereotypes. It's the same. It's the same as video games. I mean, now it's still considered for geeks. There still is that social stigma, but it's going to eventually be just like film, because it's just another medium. It's another art form. And it just has so much potential to be fantastic. I just dealt with that in a way that was kind of unnecessary, but not a big deal. I don't really care. We're not going to have the fire emblem laser for the boss, but I don't think we even used it on the last boss, so I don't really care so much about it. And we can just kind of sit here and do whatever we like. Yep, fantastic. I almost took damage there because I almost thought that I was safe. I thought there was nobody there. We could look for the secret room. You know, I'm gonna look in one place. If it's not here, then whatever. Oh, God. Maybe I should look for the secret room. I mean... Alright, I'm gonna look for the secret room. Because we only need one more cent to go to the, the shop. Even though it's likely greed. Oh, great, yeah. This is why I don't do it, but if I don't do it, I get yelled at. So, you know, I have to prove to you guys that I'm willing to do these things. And I'm going to talk a little bit about that kind of that kind of thing in the next FTL, about like people yelling at me for doing things, where it's like, I mean, look, I get yelled at either way, so I don't know what to tell you. I mean, I'm trying to get better, but, I mean, if I get yelled at from, like, half the people say I should do one thing and the other half say the other thing, then it's like, I don't know what to tell you there, guys. I'm not gonna please everybody all the time. I'll try my best to do better, but, you know, it's not necessarily gonna happen. But again, that's for FTL. When that gets recorded later on today, hopefully. I mean, not hopefully, I mean, it's gonna happen. Has to happen. I mean, I kind of have no choice. Whoa, God! Alright, that was very close. Oh dear. Okay. Come on, baby. There you go. There you go, little Gish. That is fantastic. I just love to see that. Wow, yeah, why don't you just go and die in a ditch? Cool. So we're gonna get little Gish, which is nice, because he's gonna be like a slowing effect, so, yeah, that's pretty good. We still haven't gotten a health up in, well, since since our first health up. We've gotten 1 health up this entire game, which, you know, is gonna be more and more of an issue as we get to these later floors here. And I don't remember, were we just on the depths? I guess we were on the depths, right? Because Gish, I imagine, is a depths boss, I think. I could be totally wrong about that. Alright, buddy. Let's just kill... Oh, no. Luckily, we have a lot of speed. Oh, dear. I have no idea how I didn't take damage there. You gonna shoot again? No. Okay, fantastic. Well, now we have enough money to go to the shop. But, like I said, again, it probably is greed. If it wasn't greed last time, then it's greed this time. But we don't know if it wasn't greed last time. If that makes any sense. Oh, I still took damage. That was stupid. Whatever. Let's go in here. Spider butt. You know, fire my laser is actually better. Probably. And that's hard to say because, you know, I really am not a big believer in fire my laser. Well, let's go to the shop first, and then we'll see what's going on in the... Oh, God, I'm getting a phone call. Gotta decline. Sorry! It's so unprofessional of me. He should know better, though, honestly. That was Dennis, by the way, in case you were curious. Just check Steam, man. See, I'm playing Binding Isaac. I only play it when I'm recording. Honestly. Same with FTL now, by the way, which is tough. It's, like, a lot harder, because, like, Binding of Isaac, I do get, kind of, like, desires. I get urges to play some Isaac every once in a while, but... I mean, mostly I'm cool with recording 1 a day, but it was hard getting myself into the place where I was only going to be playing FTL once a day. So much so that it makes me want to record more than 1 per day, which would make my life easier, by the way, and you know, like it would make my life easier if I recorded a bunch per day, but I don't want to do that for multiple reasons. One. And also I would love to play when I'm not recording. However, the thing is, I don't want to unlock anything off camera. Oh, okay. All right. Well, we got the I Am Error room. Well, I guess luckily we went to the treasure room first, and we got poison bombs and Charm of the Vampire. It's not very good, but I guess we're going down to the womb. We lost the sun card now, though, which is terrible. But, oh, the game is lagging out there for a second. Great. But yeah, and, but the thing is, I like recording, like, one a day, because I'd rather have the community interaction with you guys, you know, and I'd like to hear you guys tell me what you want to see, what I should do, tips and whatnot. You know, I don't like recording, like, 5 and then have a bunch of people be like, dude, you still haven't learned to do this thing, and it's like, I know, I don't want to do that kind of a thing. So it requires a little bit more work, not that much more, honestly, but also it was just like in the early times with FTL, it was like, oh, I want to play more of this game, but I have to wait till tomorrow, because if I unlock anything off camera, then it's always just so like, oh, hey guys, sorry, I unlocked this thing off the camera screen. Oh, come on, that hurt me nonsense. I call nonsense on that. Okay, we're getting into the position, into the area where life is going to get a lot more miserable, because we still have not gotten any kind of health ups, and we haven't gotten anything that will allow us to retain our health. We've been getting really lucky on blue hearts. And in fact, I think Celtic Cross might be a part of that, but, you know, it's getting got. Oh, and you know what sucks about that, too? Is that, we didn't fight Mom, so we didn't get the Polaroid. That's terrible, actually. I didn't even think about that. Well, it looks like we're going to Sheol. See what we can't do there. I mean, that's actually better, because, I mean, there's probably a higher chance. Honestly, we probably wouldn't have been able to beat Isaac at this point, because we just do not have the right kind of upgrades, which kind of sucks about Isaac a little bit. or about those fights is that you kind of need the right kind of upgrades, which is, you know, entirely based on randomness. Like, you kind of get that in FTL. Someone actually levied that criticism against FTL. It's just like, well, you kind of need the right upgrades in order to beat the final boss. And while I agree that that kind of sucks, it's different than Isaac because I think it's the worst kind of a thing in Isaac because although in fairness, I think Isaac it's more likely that without the right upgrades you could still beat the final boss. Whereas in FTL, I think you kind of do need the right kind of upgrades if you want to even stand a chance at the final boss. Alright, and drop. Yeah, I have no idea how to dodge that. But anyway. Yeah, so, but the reason it's worse in Isaac is because you kind of customize your build in FTL, so it's really up to you to make sure that you're getting the right items. Whereas in Isaac, you know, it's not really up to you. You don't really have the ability to deal with whatever you want, or get whatever you want. You know, get whatever you need. Customize your build, if you know what I mean, if that makes any sense. Game design-wise, is what I'm saying. Is while it may be the same feature in both games, it does change. I don't know, man. You know, as far as art in video games go, too, what's really interesting is, you know, you look at a game like this, which you know, you could honestly, like, it's a lot of fun, but you could also call it an art piece because it's telling a pretty complex message. It has a whole, it's a whole allegory on the dangers of religion and all that kind of stuff. So I mean, it's a heavily symbolically influenced game, you know, artistically at least. So, you know, and then you look at like a lot of video games like, you know, say Mass Effect, right, where it's pretty much laid out. Even Skyrim, I mean, it's pretty much laid out for you. This is what you're doing, this is what is going on, and there's no symbolism there, there's no, like, really artistry, there's no auteurship. And that's part of the reason why I really like indie games as well. Not to say that there's anything wrong with Skyrim or just AAA titles in general, but it is nice to see someone kind of pushing the boundaries, trying to make a message, get a point across. Okay, this is bad. Oh, come on. Fuck you. You jerk. Alright, let's see what this is. Bombs are key. Well, no, I don't want that. So I'm not going to use it. Let's kill the ball sack flies. Fantastic. Seems to be working out for us. Indeed it is. You motherfuckers, I swear to God. They are so frustratingly annoying. Charm of the Vampire is useless, as usual. Because it is a pretty trash-like item. It's an item not unlike poop. Not the poop, but just poop in general. It's pretty poopy as far as items are concerned. In my books, anyway. And that's right, yes, books. I have now written multiple books on the Binding of Isaac. That's how many books are going on in my life right now. I'm becoming a novelist. I hopefully you know, I could make a joke about that, but I mean, you know, I mean me becoming a novelist or a YouTuber becoming a novelist, but you already have that. Like, I mean, I assume you guys have heard of, or maybe you haven't, the Vlog Brothers and like Hank Green and stuff. If you haven't, then you should because they're great. And actually, you should check out Crash Course, which is youtube.com/Crash Course, which is their thing that they worked with Google to make, which is basically just an educational channel, which is really, really cool, and they worked on it together. But anyway, Hank Green, one of the Vlog Brothers, is a novelist, and in fact, he was an accomplished novelist before he started the whole YouTube thing. And he was influenced by Zay Frank, who also is now on YouTube, who you know, kind of, you know, this whole vlogging thing where you have these quick jump cuts. You see all these people like jump cutting in between whatever they're saying. If not, just look up the vlog, and I'm sure you'll find it. You know, that actually started with Zay Frank in like 2006, 2004, something like that. Oh, I'm an idiot. Whatever. It's fine. I mean, we're probably not going to win on either boss at this point. So, whatever. We're going to try to... I just, you know, it's force of habit, really, to go up to the cathedral at this point. But, anyway, yeah. Zay Frank is now on YouTube, but he started his own, like video logging thing on just the internet on his own channel called A Show. Years ago, in like 2004, 2006, something like that. So if you hate vlogging, you can thank Zay Frank. But he does, he doesn't do like he does good stuff. I would definitely suggest that you check out Zay Frank. You know what? I'm gonna stick with Tammy's head, I think. Speed and range? Meh. I mean, I'd have to fight 3 bosses for speed and range. That doesn't sound good to me. Cool, we have a little bit of extra health. Not that it's really gonna matter, but, you know, whatever. Let's get into this. Try to defeat Isaac. I think we can not do it. I'm gonna be honest. But yeah, if you get a chance to see Zay Frank 1, I would check him out. He does really cool stuff, honestly. And he's a really smart guy. And so are the Vlog Brothers. So I mean, check out Hank Green and stuff, and John Green. Those 2 guys are really cool and really inspiring, honestly. They kind of you know, partially inspired me to want to do this YouTube thing because of how successful they were and how they were able to explore educational possibilities with, you know, just through Google, which is great. I think that's fantastic, man. I mean, that's the kind of thing that I would love to do if I ever get the chance. If I ever get the chance to be able to set up some kind of educational thing on YouTube, I'd love to do that. That would just be so nice. Because, I mean, I really think that education on the internet is the future, man. It's the future. I mean, this is the age. If we've ever had an age of autodidacts, and an autodidact, by the way, is someone who learns on their own. Let's use Tammy's head, completely miss, and die. Alright. Well, that run actually went fairly quickly. I guess considering all the things that happened. But, you know, it was a near success. It was a near love. Love almost happened. But love didn't quite find a way. Nature finds a way. I want to watch Jurassic Park again. If you guys have never seen Jurassic Park, see Jurassic Park. So, I don't know if you guys enjoyed this episode. I feel like I was just, like, kind of ranting about stuff for the whole episode. So, sorry if you didn't like that. I'll try to be less boring next time. Anyway, hopefully you guys enjoyed it. This is Alpaca Patrol signing out. Peace, fools.